Hi there, it's Chris Hamilton here with Bookkeeping Automation, and we're on to QuickBooks Desktop marketing tip number 2, which is how to market a CRA audit and be 7 times more profitable. So, caveat on this one is this is designed, CRA, Canadian Revenue Agency, this is designed for Canadian audiences, but the thing is that in most jurisdictions, people will get audited if they're evading taxes and stuff like that. So, this is applicable to you as well. Just draw what you can from this one and get an understanding how it can help you in your jurisdiction. So CRA audits are increasing. That is a fact, and I'll get to that in a second here. They can be one of your most profitable parts of your practice, but the problem is that most people are missing a process and also a way to get clients. So I'll show you how to kind of get through both of those today. So, by the way, what you're about to learn is leveraging our platform, Bookkeeping Automation. It is the only platform that works with QuickBooks Desktop, which is 70% of the overall small and medium enterprise market space. So what we do and what you'll see in this presentation, we are literally the only one that I've seen that does this. So this could be a virtual monopoly for what you're doing, a huge chunk of the marketplace. So once again, QuickBooks Desktop is roughly 70 to 72% of the overall marketplace of accounting systems for small and medium enterprises. So first things on this one is the 2016 federal budget included almost $500 million for the next 5 years to increase the amount for audits. For tax avoidance and evasion. And the CRA predicts that this will bring in an additional $2.6 billion in revenue over the next 5 years. And then what it's going to do is the penalties between 2012 and 2015 increased tenfold from basically $60 million to almost $500 million. So they're getting very serious about this. So let me explain to you a case study that we did. So we were working with a physiotherapist in Whitehorse who got audited for 2 years. And we were brought in by an accounting firm because they were under the gun to do this. So they got 2 years worth of bank statements and also credit card statements. There was roughly 2,800 line items. So what we did was we scanned this information, got it into our system, and we reconciled it in QuickBooks Online, but you can also do this in QuickBooks Desktop. And we reconciled this in 20 hours. Now, here's the interesting thing. We had one of our team members doing it who does not know much about this client. So I think this could have been done probably in about 20 hours. The accounting firm said, look, something of this nature would probably take us 60 to 90 hours. So if you take a look at the kind of the 20 hours that we were doing to the 28 hours, literally it's like half a time to a third of the time. So huge time savings here just by using our platform. So what we did, this is an example. Took that credit card statement, bank statement, scanned it, input it into our system, and it was uploaded. So the system that we have is on the right-hand side here. It extracted everything on a line item, brought that information in to the account. Then what happens is, thank goodness, people are creatures of habit. So they'll, roughly the Pareto effect, 80-20 rule, 80% of the time they'll go to the same vendors over and over again. In this case, we see that they went to an Esso gas station. They select all these when we searched on Esso, and then we are allowed to auto code these into our system. So what this does is, let's take a look at that. So they said between 60 and 90 hours. Let's split it down the middle, say 75 hours. 2,800 line items is 75 hours. If it's at $100 an hour as a charge out rate, it's $7,500 as just that portion of the work side of things. So if we're doing it in 28 hours, there's no reason why you don't charge out for that amount because it's worth $7,500 to the client. Now what happens is you've effectively taken your $100 per hour charge out rate and increased it to $267 and change. So before, when if you're doing 75, you can literally do 2 of these a month. If you get it down to 20 hours to 28 hours, literally you can get 5 or 6 of these put in on a monthly basis. But if you do 5 a month, it would get you $37,500 in monthly revenue, or almost $500,000 a year. Here's what I say, better yet, hire someone to do the grunt work. And I don't mean that in a mean way. It's just to get somebody to do this work for you. So get an admin assistant, get an admin person, get a bookkeeper, get somebody. And then it'll allow you to focus your service or your what you do on marketing your services to get more profitable clients in like this. So let's just say You get a bookkeeper to do this. 28 hours times $19 an hour, which is the average wage across Canada for a bookkeeper, is $532. Now, that $7,500 you were bringing in and the cost of $532 means that this just got profitable by up to $6,000, almost $7,000 in profit per engagement in a scenario like this. So, once again, we are the only platform that I've seen that works with QuickBooks Desktop and does what we do. So it is literally at 70 to 72% of the entire marketplace. So this is a great marketing tip for QuickBooks Desktop and how to do CRA audits quicker in a space where 70 to 72% of the marketplace is actually residing. So I'm going to show you 5 tips on how to market this service. So first off, I want to show you that in Calgary, where I live, CRA audit, it's not a well-trafficked term. There's about 10,000, 11,000 results here. But the first one is it's an accounting firm. Second one is someone who's an accounting firm but helps with CRA audits. And then we go into a legal firm. We go into the Canadian Revenue Agency. And then last but not least, there is the Globe and Mail. So long story short, there's not a lot of firms that are putting their information up here on CRA audits, so it's easy to get found online. That's one way. Here's another way. Go talk to law firms. So people go see their bookkeepers or accountants if they're getting audited, but other places they go will go straight to a law firm or a lawyer that they may be working with and get their tax lawyer involved. So try to find someone who's a tax lawyer and see if you can get in front of them, or phone around to people you know that are lawyers that can make introductions to tax lawyers in their firm as well. Write a blog post, put some information in, put CRA, Canadian Revenue Agency, or whatever the information is, and talk about audits. You'll get found. Write pages on your website. So KD Professional Services, they were the guys in the first page, the first result. This drives great business for them. So I would highly recommend just put it under a services tab on your website as well so you can get found. Use some YouTube videos. So in this case, there was 1,940 results that came back when you look up Calgary CRA Audit. The top 2 are from Calgary. The rest of them, as you go through them, what you see is that it's actually from the Canadian Revenue Agency. It's from firms from all across Canada. These are the only 2 that I saw kind of on the first 2 or 3 pages of the YouTube results that were specific to the Canadian market or the Calgary marketplace. Now, the other thing too is that if you are using videos and using YouTube, here's a Chrome plugin I would highly recommend. It's called vidIQ. What vidIQ does, it helps you find keywords, improve your findability of your video online. And so this is, one thing you need to know is YouTube is the world's second largest search engine, right behind Google, and Google owns YouTube. So huge opportunities in here as well. Last one I'm going to talk about is leveraging LinkedIn. So if you use the advanced people search, which is along the top bar beside the search button up there, it says advanced, click on that, you get the advanced people search. Put certain parameters in here and find people that come back. In this case, I was searching on tax in the law practice and legal services industries in Calgary, and I got 357 people come back. So let's take a look at Roy Berg, who's the first person. I have 91 shared connections with Roy. If I click on those 91 shared connections, the first thing it does is it brings up the first 3 people that LinkedIn thinks would be my easiest or best way in to talk to Roy. And I could use all 3 of these, but let's pretend I couldn't use them. What I could do is then it says view all 91. When I click on that, it's going to bring up the 91 people that I have a shared connection with. And lo and behold, Lindsay Berry, who's the first person, would be able to make an introduction for me. And Lindsay, I would just simply reach out to Lindsay and say, Lindsay, I see that you're connected with Roy Berg on LinkedIn. What I do is I help people like Roy who are tax lawyers when their clients get into trouble with CRA audits and a whole bunch of different things, and we do it a lot quicker and faster and cheaper and better, or whatever value prop you want to put in there. Say, would you mind introducing the 2 of us if you know him well enough? Here's a little blurb you could use. Write an email blurb that talks about your benefits and stuff like that, and forward off. I usually typically get 40% of those forwarded off, and of those 40%, typically about 50% of those end up into a phone conversation, a email conversation, or a face-to-face meeting, which is about a 20% success rate. what's so amazing about that is if you're using cold calling, typically you're going to only get about 0.5% to 2.5% success rate. So in this case, I'm generating up to 40 times greater results than cold calling just by leveraging this one tactic as well. So I'll tell you what, you want to do a free trial of our software. All you got to do is go to bookkeepingautomation.com. There's a little button there. Click on it. When you click on that, it has the ability to sign up as a bookkeeper or as a business. Sign up as a bookkeeper if you're a bookkeeping or client or an accounting client. If you are a corporation and don't have multiple databases or multiple accounting systems that you're managing, then sign up strictly as a business owner, and you get a 30-day free trial. And we can help you out. We can expedite this process, give you a competitive advantage, and show you how to be upwards of 7 times more profitable.